Alright, yes, welcome to the session, and I hope all of you guys are doing good. So let's get started with today's discussion. So what is the agenda for today? The agenda is basically to talk about RAG, that is Retrieval Augmented Generation. And I see some of the pings coming in that is this session on RAG or is this session on n8n? So this session is on RAG, but using n8n, right? So basically what we are going to do is we are going to implement the entire RAG system with the help of n8n, right? So those guys having confusion, don't worry about that. We are going to use n8n and create the RAG, right? So it's like a RAG agent using n8n. So let's go ahead and let's proceed with that. Yeah, so RAG is one of the agents as well, right? So don't worry about that. So what is RAG? RAG is nothing but when we are going ahead and taking the documents and trying to read that based on, maybe it can be a PDF file, it can be any random file. So first of all, we have to convert that to embeddings. We have to convert that to numbers. And once that is done, we will be going ahead and we will be using that with the help of similarity, and we implement the same. So here is the detailed architecture where we have the document which we are going to upload. So what we are going to do in this particular session, we have this document which is employee handbook, which consists of all the details about a dummy company. And what we are going to do is we are going to run this n8n code, which will help me to create the embeddings. And after that, we will be going ahead and implementing the workflow, which will act like a chatbot, right? So this will be a personalized chatbot where I can very well go ahead and use this link and I can deploy that in my application as well. Let me show you this. So this is the front end coming from n8n. And if I ask any question, how many casual leaves do we have? So you can see that it is going to hit the document, and based on that, it is going to give me the response. We have 12 casual leaves. What is the emergency contact number? So in that case, it will hit again. So again, it's a bit of, give me a second. What is the contact number in the case of agency, right? So here you can see this number is coming in. And if you go back to this documentation, you will see that here, this is the number coming in, and at the same time, how many leaves? 12 casual leaves coming in, right? So this will be the end solution, which we are going to see how we can build it. So a lot of components are there. First of all, we'll try to understand the component. First, we'll go through the PPT and try to understand what are we going to do, and then we'll implement the same. So here you can see that we have a document which we are going to read it. We will have to split that as well, because every model has its own context length. So if there is a bigger document, we have to go ahead and we have to split that into multiple chunks. So splitter does that. After that, we'll convert that to embeddings, which we will be doing with the help of Pinecone database and OpenAI embedding model. We'll store the entire embeddings in the Pinecone database. So here you can see the database. So we are going to use the Pinecone in this example. After that, user will pass a query the way we passed that what is the emergency contact number or how many casual leaves can I take. So it will convert that to embedding as well. Searches in the vector store, whichever vectors are of same type. Fetch out the relevant vectors, and that vector which is fetched out plus the user query all will be going ahead and getting inside the LLM, that is the brain for us, and then final outcome will be coming in. Here is the simple example. For example, here you can see I have three vectors: asthma, COVID-19, and cancer. So V1 is the vector for asthma, V2 is the vector for COVID-19, and V3 is the vector for cancer. And I am asking, tell me about COVID-19. So you can see that this is my input vector, which is more closer to V2. So it will pick up the document which is specifically for vector 2, that is COVID-19. Here is the simple mathematical example. I have three sentences: I love data science, I love data analysis, and I love Java programming. So here you can see that we have all the vector created. As of now, I'm using one hot encoding concept, and these are the vectors. I love data science. You can see 4 ones, rest all are zeros. I love data analysis, all are zeros, and so on. I'll calculate the cosine similarity, a dot b upon length of a into length of b. A dot b can be any two vector out here. So I'll do a dot b for these two, and for these two. Length of a and length of b is nothing but distance of a from the origin is length of a. Distance of b from the origin is length of b, and distance of this guy from origin is, maybe if this is b, then it will take that as b. Okay. If the values of cosine similarity is coming bigger, that means you are more closer. And if the values are coming smaller, that means you are more farther. So if you do the calculation with the formula which we have discussed just now, you can see that this first two vectors will be more closer because the value will be a bit higher. And first and third vector or second and third vector will be more farther. The value will be a bit lesser, right? So that is how the calculation works. And again, there are different types of components we have in the RAG. First is the document processing, second is the vector store, third is the retriever, fourth is the generator. These are different use cases where you can apply the RAG, right? So HR document, you can go and create a proper RAG system. Customer chatbot, you can create a proper RAG systems, and various different domain specific, you can create the RAG systems as well. So RAG agent is one of the very powerful agents which people are using quite extensively, right? And in the real time, you may have seen, maybe if you're working in some companies, you must have seen that people are using the RAG agents quite extensively, right? There are different type of RAG agents available: standard RAG, corrective RAG, speculative RAG, fusion RAG, agentic RAG, RAG self RAG, hierarchical RAG, multimodal RAG, adaptive RAG, and fine-tuned RAG. In this particular session, we are only creating a simple standard RAG system where basically I'll be reading the HR document and getting the output, right? These are some of the best practices which we have to follow. While we are doing the document processing, we have to break it into chunk size. From 256 to 1024 tokens per chunk is a good size, or there should be a 10 to 20% overlap as well. We can use different embedding models. I will be using OpenAI small embedding model in this particular discussion. We can have a retrieval strategy as well, that how much relevant documents you want to pick up from the search, right? Basically, it's a similarity search. And while doing the similarity search, I may get multiple documents as a similar document. So in that case, I can go ahead and I can choose that I only want 3 or 5 similar documents out of all the similar documents, right? Most relevant documents. And then we can have the prompt engineering where we can we can pass the context and we can go ahead and we can implement the proper prompt to get the responses. These are some of the challenges which you may face while creating the RAG agents. One can be hallucinations. Second is retrieval latency. I am running and asking for some question and it is taking a bit of time. So in that case, we may have to go with some better search techniques. Context length limit. I cannot give a bigger context. So that's why we have to chunk the inputs so that will not have a bigger context length is happening. Irrelevant retrieval. I may get some irrelevant retrieval as well while doing the searching in the vector store. So we just have to apply the filter, or we have to pre-process the document before we put that document in the RAG system. These are some of the evaluation metrics. So these are the numbers which people are as of now expecting while you are implementing the RAG solutions. 85% answer relevance, how well the response answers the query. Factual accuracy, 95%, correctness of facts in the response, and retrieval precision, relevance of retrieved documents, right? These are some of the real world use cases where we can apply the RAG: enterprise knowledge base, customer support, research assistant, educational tutoring, and compliance monitoring. So that is about the brief understanding of what the RAG is, right? Now we'll see how we can implement the same in the n8n software. So first of all, again, I'm not building this entire solution. I'm just helping you understand that how we can get these components out there. Because if I start building this, it will take a bit of time, and we only have few minutes, or I can say around 40 minutes. So in that, doing everything will be a challenge. So I'll open up each of the component and I'll help you understand that how these component came in and how we set up this entire components. Okay, I'll share this code as well if you're interested. So there is an option of exporting this entire code in a JSON format. And once I share it with you, you can upload that in your machines also. Okay. So first of all, this workflow we have to create, which is the loading the data, right? So here you can see that we have created a Google Drive trigger. How this particular node came in. So let me sign in. I'll parallelly do that here to show you like how we can get that. So I'll go to my instance and I'll click a new workflow. So we are going to create the first workflow, that is the load data, right? I will click on this plus sign. And what is my interest? My interest is that I want to call this Google Drive trigger, right? So I'll go and click on this plus sign and search for Google Drive. So here you can see that Google Drive is coming in. I click on that. Now what you want on change to a specific file, on change involving a specific folder. What is my interest? My interest is that I want if any change happen in this n8n demo folder, I want you to trigger, right? That is the idea. So that is what we are going to do here. We click on this on change involving a specific folder, right? Once I do that, here you can see we got this pop-up. You have to set up your Google account, right? So I already set it up. It's a simple process. You can go and you can create a new credential. You can go and click on this open docs. In this open docs, all the steps are mentioned, right? So you can follow along this and you can very well set up your Google account. I already have it, so I'm not doing that because it will again take some time. So I don't want to waste time on that. It's a self-explanatory. So you can go ahead and you can try that. If you have any doubts, you can very well email to the support team and we will respond back. Second is the mode, every minute. So basically what I'm saying here is that every minute, if any changes happen, or I can say I will be going to look at the folder every minute, right? As and when the changes will happen, I will make those changes. I'll read those changes. So that checking in the Google Drive will be happening every minute, right? You can change that every hour, every day, every week. Let's say your document is very like it may get updated after maybe every month. So in that case, you can set it as every month. If you think that no, your document will go ahead and change quite extensively, it's quite frequent changes happening in your document, you can go and you can choose any of the documents, right? Any of the minutes, right? So here I'm choosing 1 minute. You can have a custom also. You can select the custom time, how much time and all those things we can set. For now, I'm setting the every minute. Which folder? So the folder which I have is n8n demo. So I'll be going ahead and searching for n8n. And here you can see that n8n demo is coming in, right? Watch for file created, file updated, folder created. I am looking for file created, right? So I will be looking for file created. And the same thing has happened here as well. If you double click on that, I put the same setting, Google Drive account, every minute, change involving in specific folder, which folder, n8n demo, file created, right? So exactly the same thing we did here as well. Once I click on this fetch test event, it is going to fetch out the document. Here you can see that the document name you will find somewhere. So some information is fetched out. So here is the drive and all details coming in. So here you can see that employee handbook PDF is fetched out, right? That means this particular node is working perfectly fine. So I'll get out of this node. This node is pretty much okay, right? We are good to be with this node. So that was the first setup. Okay. Let's go to the second one. So this is my download file. This particular node was only looking out for the file. So I need to add one more node of the Google Drive, which will be helping me to download the file, right? So here I'll double click on this. You can see that again, Google Drive account file. I want to download, right? And then I will be passing the file ID, right? ID of the file. So the same setup I have to do there also. So let's do that parallelly. So click on this plus sign. Again, I'll look for Google Drive, right? I want to download the file. That is the requirement. I click on that. Account is already set up. File. I want download. Which file? I can give the file ID from here, right? If you go down, here is my file ID, right? This is the file ID. I will be passing that by just dragging it here. Okay, that's it. So this node is also ready. That is download the file, which is exactly same as what we have done here, right? Now, next is the Pinecone vector store. Now, Pinecone is one of the vector databases. Apart from that, there are some other databases also available, right? Milvus is there and various different databases are available, ChromaDB and all those things. I'm using Pinecone as of now, right? First of all, you have to create an account in the Pinecone, right? So this is the official website of Pinecone. n8n demo is what I already created. I'll create one more index. So there is an option of creating the index, right? So basically, once you create your account, after that, you have to create your index here. You can give any of the names. Let's say I'll again give n8n demo today, right? Which embedding model you will be using? So I will be using the text embedding model of 3small from OpenAI. So I click on this and I'll click on create index. You can see below there are options available. If you want to change the dimensions of the vector, there are options available. 512, 1356. There are different dimensions which you can choose, right? Let's say I'm going with 1536 and I'll create the index. Once that is done, my index that is ready, right? There is an API key which I need, which I'll add it later on. I'll show you where we need to add the API key, but this index you have to create. This will be read through API in the n8n. So let me go to my original workflow. Let me click on this. Let's see what all options are available here. Pinecone API account, right? So this setting is what we have to do. We'll do that in the other screen. Insert document, embedding batch size, right? Pinecone namespace. Namespace is nothing but this one. Once you go here, this is where we can create a namespace, right? I already have created in the previous index. Here is the namespace n8n demo. So we'll create that in that particular this one as well in some time. Okay. So few settings. Vector database is free, but some of the vector database are not free for the commercial usages. n8n also is not free, but there are some free options available to use n8n if you're coming from college and all. So for practice purpose, you can go ahead and you can get it. There are some there is one way of free installation as well of n8n. I'll just share that details with you later on because I, as of now, not sure, but there is one option available, right? I'm using a free trial as of now, but for my demos, I am using the paid versions, right? Yeah, 1000 execution is free, but again, it is only for 13 days, right? After that, if it's very difficult to run 1000 execution in 13 days if you are only practicing. Okay. Anyway, so let's proceed. So I'll add here plus sign Pinecone, right? Pinecone vector store. And here, what are we looking for? If you click here, Pinecone vector store, right? So let's go ahead and let's pass it. Get rank document vector store, add document to the vector store, retrieve document chain tool to vector store, retrieve document to AI agent tool, update vector store document. As of now, add document will do that, right? API account I already have. If you want, you can click on this new credential and you have to pass the API key here. That is done, right? How will I get the API key from Pinecone? By clicking on this API key, you will get your new API key. If you want, you can create that, right? I already have it, so I'm not doing it. I'll run my old code only, or let's do that because I just want to be sure that we'll complete in time, right? Whatever we can able to do, we'll do that. Okay. So let me create a new API key n8n demo today. So I copy this and I'll go to my new screen and I'll paste my key here and I'll save it. You can see the credential created successfully in your personal space. So things are fine. That's it. All this will be fine. Pinecone index. What did we set there? n8n demo, right? So that is the index we will be passing here. n8n demo today, right? This is my thing. That's it. So this part is also done. Some warning coming in because I need to set these two guys as well, right? What are these two guys? Let's go and check it out. So one is embedding API because we need the embedding model, right? There we did not create any embeddings as of now. In this particular Pinecone, we just set up the database n8n demo today. And I mentioned that I will be using the OpenAI, this thing, small model, right? So that is what I need to set there as well. So that's why I need to click on this plus sign and I need OpenAI embedding model, right? Test embedding model. Here you can see the dimension. And if you remember, the dimension we set was 1536, right? So that is the dimension we need to set. That's it. This part is also done. I'll drag it here. And here I need to add one more part, which is here. Default document loader, right? I want to load the document, right? So I need to set the document loader, PDF format, simple splitting. There is a custom splitting option is also available. Load all the input data. The file is a binary file. PDF file is considered to be the binary file, right? So that is what we need to set there as well. So click on this default document loader. I need a binary file input, right? It's a PDF, simple splitting and done. That's it, right? So this is my first workflow, which is we created exactly like this. And now we have to execute the workflow, right? Make sure you save it. Make sure you are activating it, right? That is important. And then execute the workflow. Once you do that, you can see things are happening. Everything is done. Workflow executed successfully. Now what will happen? Go to the Pinecone and click on this today. You will see that you will get some records. You can see 4 records coming in. And these are the 4 records. It was empty earlier. So now you can see 4 records coming in. If I rerun this workflow again, it will make it eight documents. It will be overwriting your previous, sorry, it will be appending your previous document, right? So if you go back and check it out here, refresh this page, you can see 8 document came in. Right, so 8 document came in. So basically it has two times the document read, right? That is what you can see here. If you don't want this, you can go to the namespace and you can delete this namespace. Right? And then you can recreate it. You can recreate. Let me first give a proper name. Okay, let's recreate it. Let's go back. So if you see now, as of now, there are no documents there. I have deleted the entire entries. 0 documents are there. Let me recreate it. I'll just make sure I think I'm missing one step. Pinecone namespace. Let's call it as n8n demo today. Okay. And now let's run it. Okay. So now when I go back to my this, you can see 4 documents will be coming in. If I refresh, okay, 4 document came in. Namespace also comes in n8n demo today, right? So now it is giving me the proper name also, 4 documents. So everything is fine. This particular workflow is ready. Now I will go back to the home screen. Yes, obviously I have to save it. I'll go back to my home screen and now I want to create my second workflow, right? Which is my chat bot, right? Which is, let's compare side by side. So this is what now we have to create, right? A lot of components are there, but let's see how much we'll able to cover. So first of all, I need the chat, right? So I'll go back. Let's create a workflow. You can give a name, chat bot RAG agent. I click on this plus sign chat trigger, right? I'll keep it as of now as is. Go back. This is my chat, which I have. What next we want? We want the AI agent, which will be acting as a AI agent for me to read the entire document. So let's go back. AI agent. Here we go. Right. This is fine. This is okay. Just give me a second. Let me click on this plus sign, add the AI agent. Okay. Let's quickly compare side by side. So this was the agent, connect chat trigger node. Here I gave the system prompt, right? So you can give the system prompt like this. So click on this, click on system message. And here I have put the system prompt. You can give a detailed system prompt as well, what you exactly want, right? So you are a helpful assistant to go through the document and give the response to the user in a clear and concise way and point wise if necessary. Okay, so that is fine. Do I have to make any other changes? So you can see rest all are exactly fine. So I don't need to make any other changes. Okay, so that is done. I have to connect some of these things, right? So obviously chat model I need, which will generate the responses for me. So here also you can see that there is a chat model coming from OpenAI that I need, right? I need a memory. Memory is basically we are using for remembering the past. For example, I am asking how many casual leaves I can take. And after that, I am asking some more question on top of that. So I need a memory. By default, the large language model has stateless concept, right? It does not remember the past. So we need to add the memory as well. So these are the two things. First we'll add, then we'll come to answer question and all those things. Okay. So let's click on this. I want OpenAI model. Right. I'll go with GPT-4o. OpenAI account is already connected with me. If you want, you can create a new credential and you can pass your API key here, right? You can get this API key from the platform openai.com, right? So from here you can get the API keys, okay, and you can very well pass that API key out here. I already have it, so I'm not doing it now, but you can try it from your side. So that is chat model done. I need to add the memory also. I'll go with a simple memory, which will remember 5 context length. That means it will remember 5 previous chats, right? Based on that, the response will be coming in. If the 6th chat is there, it will not remember that, right? So only we are going with 5. So that is also done quick. Now we have to add the tool, right? What tool? Obviously is Pinecone database, which we have created, will be acting like a tool for me. So that is what here you can see, answer question with a vector store, Pinecone, right? So that is what we are going to add here, which will be the tool for me, Pinecone. And what you are looking for, or wait a minute, I think I missed one part. Let me delete this. Answer. Yeah, vector store question answer tool. Okay. I think this is the one, answer question with answer question. Yeah, that is fine. So let's go and check the setting for that. So here what I did, put 4, go through the document and give me the relevant response. So that is what I am passing, exactly the same. Okay, so that is done. Now here also I need to connect these two guys, right? One is my Pinecone vector store, because from where I will get the answer? I will get the answer from the vector store, Pinecone, right? So that is what I'll be adding. So add Pinecone vector store. Okay. And here, whatever we have 2 vectors, right? If you remember in here, we had 2 databases, n8n demo today, and second was n8n demo, right? So I want today one, right? So I'll be going here and choosing that guy, n8n demo today. Okay. Rest all I think exactly fine. Let's quickly check it out. So when I double click on this, n8n demo, retrieve document, right? That is what we have given there as well. So that is absolutely okay. Here, if you want, you can give the metadata and all those things. As of now, I'm not doing it. So that part is done. And here also I need to add the embedding model, right? So I need to add the embedding model OpenAI. And again, I'm going with 3 and dimension how much? 1536. Okay. So that is the thing which we have to take care of. So this part is done. And what we are left with? We are left with this part, which is nothing but your OpenAI chat model, because once I get the data, right, then chat model will generate the response for me. This chat model is understanding the question, this one, and this chat model will understand the response or giving the response, right? So that's why we need 2 chat models out there. So I click on this plus sign. I'll go with my OpenAI chat model. I'll again prefer the same model, 4.0. Right here, if you, I don't need anything out here, so that's fine. And I think this is done. Okay. I hope this entire flow is ready. Let's quickly check it out. Just make sure you are saving it. Make sure it is active. And first of all, you can check it out here, how the flow is. Hi, how many casual leaves can we take? So you can see it is hitting all the things. Chat model is running as well. Response should be coming fine, right? So here you can see that it did not come properly, right? The number of casual leave employee can take varies on company. So it's not taking it properly, right? Something is missing out there. Let's see, this is okay. This is fine as well. Let's compare side by side. One minor step I must have missed somewhere. Chat input. Chat input is fine. For limit is fine. Setting, nothing is there. Simple memory 4 5 context windows session ID is there. Let me just check it out. Memory session ID is there. No setting will be there. Yeah, that is fine. OpenAI chat model GPT-4 OpenAI, that is fine. Something I'm missing. I'm not sure. I need to check it. Must be a minor n8n demo. I think this I missed. No, I did not, I guess. Let me just check. Pinecone namespace. Pinecone namespace, but this is n8 demo today. Right. Let's see whether it is fine or not. How many casual leaves can we take? Yeah, now it is working fine, right? 12 casual leaves. So that small mistake or small miss we had. What is the emergency contact number? So now it's not giving me that exactly, right? So we have to give proper. I gave the system prompt, so I may have to fine tune the system prompt that if question is asked, use only the vector store. Don't come up with your own answers, right? So that type of system prompt we can change. What is the dress, or I can say, do we have any dress code policy? Okay, so some output is coming in. Formal, smart casual, casual jeans, suit. So we can quickly check it out whether it's actually there or not, right? So dress code, t-shirt, wearing t-shirt Fridays. No, you can see it actually hallucinated, right? Because suits and all those things coming in. Dress pants, t-shirts, jeans, t-shirts, specific, formal. Maybe it is true. I'm not sure how it can be considered because it's all formals only, right? So smart casual, a blend of business. I think bit of hallucination is there, I guess. If you go and check here, smart casuals is there. Is that written? Yeah, it's written also. All working days. I think maybe it's coming in more detail. May not be hallucinated. Let me go and let me change my system prompt. Right. Let's come to this. Give me exactly what is written in the document. Okay, let's go and let's check it out. Let me save it also. Do we have any dress code? Yeah. So now you can see it's coming exactly based on Fridays. You can have t-shirt. Is that mentioned somewhere? Yeah. So now it is perfectly fine. Okay. So that is also done. So this is how we created this chat. Now what I want is I want to integrate this guy with my website, let's say. So I need the API for this entire chatbot, right? So I click on this chat. Here you can see make the chat publicly available. I enable this, and once I enable this, I get this URL, and this URL we can very well connect with your website, right? I can change here. Hi there, my name is Nathan. I'll change it. Hi there, my name is Chantu. How can I assist you today? Okay, so this is done, and I guess I'll click on this link. Let's close it. My chat is already active. Let me pass this Control V. something is wrong. Let me save it again. Active. Got it. Link is there. Let me rerun this link. So you can see. So once you get the link, after that, you have to save it again, activate again, right? So that was one step. Once you enable this link, after that, go back, make it inactivate, activate it again, right? And once that is done, my link is available now. And here I can ask any question. How many casual leaves can we take? Right? So it will go back, hit the vector store, give me the response, 12 casual leaves, right? Do we have any emergency contact number? Here I gave the system prompt that only give me the output from the document, right? So now it should give me the correct phone number. Hopefully, no, it is not. Still, we may have to change the phone number properly. Sorry, we have to change the prompt properly, right? Do we have any dress code? Let me ask some more questions from the document. So what else we have? Work from home policy, right? So let's check it out. What is the work from home policy? So what is the policy? Policy is that you can take 5 work from homes subject to manager approval. Work from should be requested by email, valid reason. Prolonged work from more than 3 days continuously must be routed through HR review, right? Let's see what is coming in. Perfectly same output is coming in, right? So that is how my chatbot is ready. I can very well integrate that with my websites, and that's it. You can customize this look also. All those things are very much possible with the help of website development, right? So as of now, it's a n8n view. You can change that also in much appealing way. So that was I wanted to discuss. I hope you guys understood how it is and how simple it is, right? That if you are not coming from a coding background and you want to create your AI agents, right? You can very well do that with the help of tools like n8n or tools like Zapier, where we can drag and drop and we can generate the systems. But yes, if you are doing it with coding and all, the best part is that you can customize it quite extensively, right? In the n8n or Zapier type of tools, maybe customization may not be that much, right? So that one benefit we get if we are coming up with Python scripting, or yeah, mostly Python only, we will create these type of systems. I mostly work on Python and I create my solutions for the clients using Python only. But yeah, this tool is also very interesting. So I thought of having one session on this as well, so that people will understand about this tool. Zapier also give me this type of functionalities. So I am still exploring that. But yeah, overall, this is like a good solution to have for people who are looking for no code type of solutions, right? So this is what I wanted to cover. Any doubts you guys have, let me know. So I was thinking like it will take a lot of time, but yeah, it was, I think, pretty much we are on time. Still, we have some time left. What are the limitations and benefit of RAG with Python scripting versus that is what more customization is possible in your this thing, right? When you are using Python. What is the difference between dimension of 516 and 1024 sort of its usual? See, when the document is very big, right? Let's say I'm processing a lot of information, then it is advisable to have a bigger dimensionality, because more the dimensions we will have, more the information will be stored on those numbers. But if my document is not that big, So in that case, what we do is we go ahead and we create a smaller dimension, because I don't want to capture that much of information. Okay. So that we have to decide based on how the data is, and it may not be long query time. That if the dimension is more, obviously there will be a difference when we are processing a lot of information, because overall my multiplications and all with the vectors will increase when the dimensionality will increase. But when we are working with a smaller files, right? In that case, if you're increasing the dimension, then also there will not be any performance issue, right? If you're going, but again, as I mentioned, when the document is small, go with the smaller size of vector. Proper system prompt will take care of the hallucinations, right? No, if you are using LangChain, LangGraph, or if you are using n8n, right? Is there a higher chance of hallucination in the n8n, something like that? The answer is no, right? Once you are giving a proper prompting in this, again, it's for demo. I created this small solution, but when you're giving proper system prompt, then hallucination chances are lesser in both the scenarios. It's not that n8n is more prone to hallucinations or something like that, right? We cannot say that. For PDF documents, shall we try something like PDF minor or reduce further or do supply and modified? You can do that. If at the PPT I mentioned, if you remember in the PPT, right, when we had a discussion somewhere here, the last part here, irrelevant retrieval, add filtering and pre-processing of documents, right? So you may have a bigger PDF and you may have some of the redundant information or maybe having some of the irrelevant information. So it is obviously advisable to go ahead and clean your PPT, right, before uh, getting into the RAG agents. Can we customize chat URL with your domain? This will be sitting at the back only, right? It will not be coming in the front. So when you are creating your website, it's something like API. I'm not sure whether in the paid version that option is available or not, but I went with 1 month subscription, so I did not see that option. I may have to explore that further, but it will be sitting inside inside your front end code, Hussein, right? So I don't think that it's really required to change the customize domain. How does RAG differ from traditional prompt engineering when it comes to automating? RAG is altogether a very different concept. Prompt engineering is just a prompt to fetching out the output. The concept of RAG came in by the concept of few short prompts, right? So there is a concept of few short prompts. They found out that when we are giving some example, machine is understanding properly and machine is giving me the response on the same lines. So based on that, they came up with a concept of RAG. They thought that, okay, if this is happening, why not we go ahead and in place of prompt, in place of few short prompts, let's pass a document and ask questions from that, right? So basically, RAG is a solution where if I want to read any specific information or ask any question from specific information, you all know that when we are training LLM, it takes good amount of time. So obviously we cannot train on a daily basis. So if a new information comes in and I want to get response from that new information, so I can very well pass it as a document and I can ask questions from that, right? So that is what RAG is. So you can think of it like a context in the prompt, right? So document will be considered as a context in the prompt and you can ask questions from that. Right? So prompt will be there in RAG also, but along with that prompt, you are giving the context also through a PDF document or any other document. So there is a big difference. What are the best methods for securely storing API other sensitive data using? n8n takes care of that. We are just passing the information, and n8n will take care of that. In Python, we have .environment type of file. So same you can try, but I think in n8n we don't need that. Is the solution scalable? Specifically, it is scalable, very much scalable. If number of files will increase, then also the things will working fine. So basically, we already applied the trigger, right? So whenever we will add a new document in this folder, automatically my vector store will update and it will ask questions from that as well, right? So that is one thing. Scalability wise, you don't have to worry on the vector store point of view. First of all, if I add a new document out here, automatically this particular workflow, which was the vector store workflow, will execute first, then chatbot will give me the response from that first thing, right? So you can add n number of documents. Second is when the number of users will increase, will this work fine? Obviously, because we have this link, right? Which is, where is that chat link? We have this link, which will be the part of your this thing website. So you can ask questions here and it will give me the response. What is the end goal? The end goal is that it will going to hit the vector store from the n8n. You can have any number of users, they can ask questions. No problem at all. I'm using all mini LM L6 V2 sentence transformer in my LangChain project. Does I need to do I need to use the dimension which mentioned in documentation, or we can change dimension based on our, you can change the documentation based on your requirement, but the idea is that whether it supports in n8n or something like that. Because if you see, when I was putting the drop down at the time of vector creation, right? If you go here, we had all these options available, right? 2, 5, 6 and all those things. But in the Pinecone, we only had two dimensions. 1, 3, 5, 6 and 5, 1, 2. Only two options were available, right? So you just have to make sure that you are in sync. If you are passing here 1, 5, 3, 6, in your n8n also it should be 1, 5, 3, 6 only. If you are passing it to 5, 1, 2, it will fail because the dimension length will be different, right? So just make sure that all systems are sync, right? One system is having smaller dimension space, second is bigger dimension space, then your calculations will not happen. In your solution, the search will happen only in HR document, or will it search over the internet? No, it is happening only on the document, no internet, right? If you want to see, it's a company customized solution, right? So if you add more documents out here, automatically it will ask questions on that as well. If you want internet to enable as well, then in that case, what you can do in the system prompt here in the AI agent, in the system prompt, you can say that if you are not able to give the answer, go and use your knowledge or use the internet, right? You can give that in here also. It's a game of system prompt where you can make the changes. Okay. As of now, we are trying to make us company specific, no outside information. Please let us know the location of your code repository. As of now, I did not put this anywhere. I'll share it with the support team. Support team will share this document with you. All right, so I hope this gave you good understanding about how this solution is, and try to build it. You can get this recording in the official website of SkillUpRight as well. You can go through that if you are facing any problem. How do we know exact steps are there in drag? Is there any workflow? This one, right? This is the exact workflow which you can follow. This picture is the best picture to describe. First step will be document loader. Second step will be splitter. Third step will be embedding, right? Basically, I'm loading the document, breaking the document, uh, converting it to the numbers and storing in the vector store. That is one part. User is asking question. His question will be converted to numbers as well. Searching will happen to the vector store and it will retrieve. Once it will retrieve, the retrieve pages plus user query combined together goes to the LLM and response getting generated. So what all components are there? Document loader, splitter, embedding model, vector store, retriever, chat model. That's it. These are the major components of any RAG system. Okay. Yeah, I'll share this document with the support team as well. You can connect with the support team and you can get this document. Okay. Cool. So I hope you enjoyed the session. We'll see you in the next session with some more new topics. Have a nice day. Have a nice week ahead. Take care, guys.